Did you know that in Piedmont there is a legend about one of the most evil and powerful witches that ever existed in Italy? Today I will make you tremble with fear, but first, watch folks, I'm Lawrence and my aim is to show you many places around the world from my partial human perspective. Before I start, help me to grow this project, snap me a like and subscribe. It was an autumn day in 2022 when I was walking through Vero, a small region near the Langhe hills in the deep south of Piedmont. My goal was to walk the Masca Trail, a very special trail in this area dedicated to one of the most famous legendary figures of Piedmont. So, after passing the village, I found a path that would take me into the woods. But perhaps I deserve an explanation before. Why the path of the Masca? In the introduction I mentioned a witch of incredible evil, and what about this Vero? And why precisely in Pocapaglia? My, how curious you are. Let's proceed step by step. So, why the path of the Masca? Oh, this is really easy. It seems that long ago Piedmont was home to some, well, witches. Masche, to be precise, of course. Masche are traditional Piedmontese witches who lived mainly in the Langhe area and southern Piedmont. Legends say that had many powers, including the ability to transform into an animal, knew botanical magic, and were able to curse you to the end of time. They obviously had a bad reputation, especially if we talk about the Dark Ages, of course. In the end, some were good and some were bad, but their most obvious characteristics were that they are capricious, spiteful and vindicative. Our protagonist is also one of them and was called Micillina, but before telling you the story of this powerful evil villain, let's take a look from above. While I was chatting with you about the legends, I obviously got lost in the forest. I was walking peacefully in the wood when I heard a strange noise. I got so scared, but you have to understand me, the Masca story keeps suggestioning me. Okay, maybe it's time to tell you this story that freaks me out every time I listen to it. So, legend has it that long ago in this wild and ruddy land lived an ancient witch, or a Masca, as the local called her, the Masca Micillina. She was a strange and disturbing woman and ruled mysterious and powerful forces around her. Anyone who crossed her path was cursed. Many people who disliked her suddenly sprouted a hump, and it is said that the boy who was bothering her had inverted his feet, one in front and one in back. Her husband was evil too. Because of the fact that she would disappear for days, he began to say that he lived with a Masca, not with a woman, and after that he began to beat her until he threw her out of the house. But the next day, to having pushed her away, he fell from a tree and died, so she could return home. However, she continued to antagonize the townspeople who, after a while, made her a bit of a scapegoat for all the misfortunes of the village. She was processed and condemned to death in the flames of the stake like many witches in the past, but before the execution, she cursed everyone. 2 oxen went mad and swept through the crowd, killing and trampling many people, and some burning embers flew out and made other catastrophes. This was the legend of the most evil witch of Piedmont. Some historical sources reported her name probably really existed, but who knows? Okay, meanwhile, after walking my path surrounded by the beautiful colors of autumn, I was too scared, so I returned to the base. That day I realized something very important. That was that even in the forest of darkness of the darkest witch that ever lived, there are the colors of the fall. And thank you very much, folks, for reaching the end card and for watching this video. Yes, it was very scary this time. But this is one of the most important legends of Piedmont, so I really have to tell you about it. Anyway, next week there will be a stop because I will travel to Garda Lake, so see you the week after. In the meantime, cheers!